but it is running a lot smoother than it did on the Nintendo Switch 1, which is going to make streaming games for you guys so much better. And the buzzing noise you hear on my microphone is the fan for the house because it got up to 90 degrees today. And I don't do hot weather. Also glad this has a second save file now. That was worth the $10 alone, in my opinion.
That way you can have 2 different save files.
Yep.
One for streaming and one for personal use.
Oh, yes.
Oh, look, you Resident Evil downloaded.
Yeah, that might be what I end up doing tomorrow, if you want to do raid mode with me from Fresh.
True, but first you gotta do your Fallout Friday.
Yeah, about Fallout Friday.
You don't want to do Fallout Friday anymore?
Mm-mm. Fallout 76 is so boring and repetitive, and none of my fans actually stick around for more than like 2 minutes to watch it. It's pretty bad.
I wonder what Fallout game they would stick around to watch.
New Vegas, maybe?
Probably.
On top of which, like, none of my friends... It's hard for me to get my friends to play Fallout 76. They'd rather play Destiny 2, Call of Duty, Minecraft, or goon off to some Genshin Impact chick on their fucking phone.
So what are you going to change Fridays to?
I'm trying to figure that out. I might
Freedom
just...
Friday? You can pick any game to play?
Yeah, I was thinking Freedom Friday sounds pretty good. Because if I just leave it at, like, Freedom Friday, then, like, there's no telling what I'm going to do. It could be video games, it could be Yu-Gi-Oh cards. We could grab the streaming stuff on the phone if I can get it to work proper. Because YouTube's being a bitch, I can't get it to work right, and Kick, for whatever reason, doesn't like my phone.
Just take the bikes and go?
Go find a friggin' gun range somewhere and just go ham, you know, blow up some watermelons or something. Heck, grab some canned goods and pull a Scott.
Yeah, don't let Scott you say anything about the watermelon.
It's watermelon time!
Hey.
Oh, man, I love that guy's stuff.
Oh, yeah. 69.
70.
It changed right after I said 69. That was funny.
So yeah, I'm gonna grab the pop-out chat for Rumble and get the repost, the share link, actually.
Oh, hey, tomorrow, aside from doing stuff with you on that, why don't we both do a couple rounds of Mario Kart World so that I can test it out myself?
We can. We can. I will say, though, a little disappointed in that game.
People are going to be upset about the price tag because it's not worth actually that price, is it?
There are aspects of the game that make it feel unfinished.
Maybe they plan to have upgrades or...
And the
or
problem with that
download
is that they're talking about charging $80 for a game that doesn't feel finished. And here's my problem. They don't appear to have intentions of... I don't want to say they don't want to finish it. I think they feel like they have finished it.
Maybe
And that's
they-
kind of the problem that I have with it. Now, they haven't said as much, but like I'm just saying, the way that it feels like they want to charge people $80 for a free roam kart game that, by my estimation, is like a quarter the size of the map of San Andreas.
Yeah. Well, what
So-
if they're leaving it with that feeling so that they can add in some...
And you're probably you could be right, but here's the problem. Mario Kart 8 had Link, had I think Samus, I could be wrong, had several other promo characters, right? This game has none. They're all default, like, Nintendo mainline characters, and it sucks. That's number one. Number two, your vehicle selection pool is limited at first, and unlocking vehicles is not that hard, nor is unlocking the alternate character skins. And I'm glad that doing so is a part of actual gameplay, don't misunderstand me. I just wish there was more of them. I also need to point out that there is no, like, discernible difference between cart types. They're just, like, skins. I know that kind of sounds rude to say, but it's the truth. You're literally just changing the way that your cart looks. They all still fly, they all still can go in water, you know, they can all still drive on land or hover immediately above it. It's just not... It's a fun, like... Okay, so if I'm looking for something, like, let's say it's a hot day, right? It's over 100 degrees, and I don't want to sweat my nuts off, you know, going outside and doing something, right? And I want to just
You're not
chill
hurt,
out and
are
do
you,
something that doesn't require my brain to be activated, then yes, Mario Kart World fits that bill. Just jump into free roam and just drive around like a fucking idiot until you fall asleep, right?
Yeah.
But
Look,
outside
these
of that, the
murals.
game doesn't offer much that other kart titles don't already offer. The battle mode seems fun
The
until you
written
realize
histories of
that
the royal family
Crash Team Racing
include
has a battle
stories of
mode.
a great
The
war
Grand
fought
Prix
long
mode
ago.
seems fun until you
It
realize
was a
that
conflict
Crash
between
Team Racing,
allied
again,
tribes
has
and
a
someone
Grand Prix
only
mode.
ever referred to as the Demon King.
You know, the online play sounds like a great idea until you realize that Crash
Is it
Team Racing
possible?
Reloaded
Do
has
these
an
murals
online
depict
play.
the same legend?
So it's just not... It's kind of improved on the Crash Team Racing formula more so than
This is similar to the statues we saw
Mario
earlier.
Kart formula.
A Zonai.
And by that I mean, all they did was make the free roam area
look like Hylians.
way bigger than really it probably needed to be.
This
Which is
depiction
fine,
certainly
because it's chock
suggests
full
that
of
the
little
Zonai
miniature
descended from the
activities, and
heavens.
you can explore, discover, and do things. That's fine. It's great. Not a problem.
It is said that
Except
my
the
ancestors,
activities
the
are all
first of
effectively the
Hyrule's
same
royal
fucking
family,
thing.
were born from a union with
You're
gods who
either
had descended
chasing
from the
down
heavens.
certain targets like the football dudes with the
These
green
murals
shells.
tell a
and you're trying to
similar
take them
story.
out.
And if they
You're
are
trying to
accurate,
race against
then the
other
gods mentioned were the
NPCs in like a
Zonai.
small 3-lap race
They
to
must have
unlock
forged a
something that the
relationship
Boos
with the
have,
Hylians of that
you know,
time,
hidden away.
working together to
Or
establish
some other enemy. And it's just,
the
it's not
kingdom
very...
of Hyrule. This figure. He seems to be
Here's the
stealing
Kingdom,
something of
Breath of
incredible
the
power
Wild.
from the young
You tell
kingdom.
me those are $80 on the Nintendo Switch 2, I am A-okay with
I
it,
saw
right?
the lines with what
There's
I've read during
tons
my
of stuff to in
studies.
both of those games.
And then
Tell
this,
me
it
that
shows
that
the
Mario
Demon
Kart
King
World is going to be $80 on the Switch 2.
and a fierce
I'm
battle
going to look
against
at you
him.
sideways and say, are you high? Because it's just, it doesn't feel like there's
If the
as
creature
much
depicted here really
content
does represent the Demon
as
King,
what Tears of the
then
Kingdom, especially Tears of the Kingdom, has to offer. And that's just my take on it. Again, that's also off of one stream on a game
Incredible.
that was just released like today.
This
so
mural must be the Great
that's
War
just
recorded
like my
in the royal
initial
histories.
reaction to it. I could get
This
on here
is the
tomorrow. They
imprisoning
could
war
download a
and the
massive
events
patch
that
to
led
the
up
game
to it.
that unlocks the other half of the
This
freaking
is a
game that lets you
huge
go into an
discovery.
underworld version of the mushroom. Yeah, that you can friggin' run around in on a Mario
All right
Kart
then.
like world.
Now to use this
similar to
invention
how
of
Breath
Bora's.
of or Tears of
I'm
the Kingdom
glad I didn't
does,
leave it behind.
except it's for kart racing, and I
It's
could
so
be like,
easy
oh,
to
okay,
record.
well that changes
pointed
things
and
completely
clicked.
because this underground world is like 4 times the size of the initial map.
It looks like
Huh,
the rest of the
okay.
murals are obscured.
Well, I guess I can put my foot in my mouth then. You know? There are plenty of ways Nintendo could make me eat shit, on my
Just what
opinion,
is this
as
place?
far as saying that their game is not
Maybe
worth
we'll
$80
find more
the way
answers
that it is
further
right
ahead.
now. And they could do it very
Link.
easily.
Let's keep moving deeper.
The problem is that that's not the way the game is at this moment. So as of when I did my initial review and take of Mario Kart World, it was accurate, but it could change. You know, they could release a free DLC tomorrow and say, we meant to put this in as part of the game, but we forgot to do it before launch. And next thing you know, we have to download this free DLC that everyone gets, and we get some sort of underworld racing map. So, I'm not so sure I want to really hold Nintendo accountable for saying it's an $80 game when the pre-order for it only costs us like an extra $50. Which tells me also that they know themselves that the game is not worth no $80. Oh yeah, no. The graphics on that are so much smoother. The Nintendo Switch 2 on Scarlet and Violet fixed like every problem that they had. So, yeah,
You
that.
can see some issues, but the hair actually is more natural.
Yeah, but it's not like as bad as it was. Your character's not falling through the friggin' map.
True. You
Okay.
can fix that original button, but most of this is actually a lot smoother. The hair moves more naturally,
So.
the texture is actually smoothed out and
Oh yeah.
some of it's still a little bit odd,
I mean, yeah, there's some oddities here and there. Most of the oddities, though, that I'm noticing are
that?
from my video capture card. They're not actually from the Switch 2 itself. Like, the Nintendo Switch 2 is performing amazing. The capture card is making it look like the Nintendo Switch 1 play. Which tells me that we need to upgrade our capture cards to better capture cards.
yeah.
Once we have the extra
This
money.
previous small cutscene, this part of this tree right there on that tree house, it actually still has like that loading graphic.
Yeah, it didn't look as good. A lot of things look better. There's just one game that doesn't look good. And shame on them for not doing the updates required for it. Borderlands 3.
Link!
Was that the sword that seals the darkness? The blade that shatters so easily against my power cannot save you from me. Zelda. You who carries that fragile sword. A Link. Rauru placed his faith in you,
Excuse me.
and that was all you could do.
How do you know our names?
I'm probably going to need a wet and very cold washcloth for my face. Probably have a little more cause some issues. Yeah, you can see the, if you were sitting here, you'd see the obvious lag between the Switch 2 and the capture card and the, like, kick, for example. So the guys on kick, when they watch me do stuff live, which by the way, I have 31 followers on kick now. Extremely well done, yeah. So
And you actually look like you're still hovering a little bit over the stairs. But you're not hovering on the floor. You just hover a little bit when you walk down the stairs.
Okay. Going to address politics for a minute. There seems to be a little bit of a bitch fight between the fan bases of Elon Musk and Donald Trump. I kind of like both of them for now. There's some sketchy news coming out about Donald Trump that we kind of already knew a little bit. But I look at presidents like this, whatever good I can get out of them, right? Elon Musk, however, owns Twitter, which is one of the places that I do post my links to my videos, and that does not make me biased towards Elon either. If Elon wanted to ban me tomorrow, I'd shrug, bounce over to Instagram and TikTok and use them just as well. Here's the thing. Dividing the camp based off of who's right or who's wrong, it's just kind of fucked up. You're just going to fuck up any chances we have of fixing the country in the future, and it's pointless.
I've heard a great deal
You're
about
better
you from
off,
Zelda.
like, let them hash it out, right? Put them in a
Your
lock them
wounds
together in a
will
room with a
severe.
box of band-aids and get it the
I am
fuck over
relieved
with.
to see you escape
But,
death.
You know,
Your
just let
arm,
him do it.
however, was beyond saving.
Just let him get it over
I
with.
had to replace
and
it,
there you
lest
go.
the injury endanger you further.
But they need to. Are you
Huh?
Never mind. You're just grabbing your Switch. I was gonna say, could you grab that chocolate mousse?
No, I forgot to take one of my virtual game cards from here and put it over here. Because I turned this one off, I have to turn it back on in order to do that.
Yeah. I say let them fight it out. Let them duke it out. Get it over with. I don't really focus too much on that at this point because, like, and this is due to political fatigue from last year's election cycle. Okay, I was on Twitter every day, being a thorn in the Democrats' ass on Twitter, calling them out, calling them names, just in general, just like putting my boot to their, social media, basically hypothetical necks. And the reality is, I'm tired of doing it. I know it's important to keep things in check, but, social drama is just so much more fun than political. I hate to say it, but... And I hate Maury Povich, by the way. I'd rather deal with Maury Povich bullshit than fucking politics at this point. I just need a break, okay? Now that being said, the news stuff that I've been watching and getting my friggin' feet wet in is the whole Hassan Tectone Asmongold thing. And I don't want to make my own camp on this issue, but I kind of have to. Hassan's fucked in the head. Asmongold does whatever he wants, and Tectone admits to being a gooner. I don't know if he's just doing that to be a troll or whatever, but it's kind of hilarious, and it's his own business, and I don't really care. Like, everyone has their vice. Mine happens to be video games. I'm not gonna lie or hide behind that fact, and I never have. You can ask my fiance/future soon-to-be wife. She knows I'm a gamer. She's a gamer too, more or less. A little bit more casual of a gamer than I am, but recently we've gotten her into playing a little bit more Destiny 2. Yeah, but you do like hacking at things with your sword. I did notice that. That was kind of funny watching you do that. So, here's the thing. I don't mind covering or discussing my opinions about the drama, but I have next to no intention of actually being a part of it. As much as that controversy would probably, draw views to my channel like friggin' flies on horseshit, it's just not... I don't want to be in the middle of it. Okay, looking in from the outside is fine. Being a part of it necessarily, from the inside, no. That being said, Hassan has actively has provided material support by airing propaganda on Twitch for terrorist organizations, which is illegal and does need to be dealt with on that matter by the federal government, not just a Twitch ban. That's just straight up legally how I think things need to be handled, and I think someone just needs to show it to Pam Bondi and be like, yeah, this is material support for terrorists. What are you going to do about it? You know. Showing a propaganda video is a recruiting tool that is used by terrorist organizations, and if he's doing that while saying he likes these terrorist organizations because they're like Monkey D. Luffy, that is providing recruitment support, material support, for terrorist organizations. As far as the need to quote-unquote prove it, you can go to his stream and see him do it for yourself. So, there's plenty of evidence, plenty of documented evidence of him doing this kind of crap. And it does need to be put to a stop. And Twitch, you know Twitch isn't going to do it. Heck, I think most of them are freaking complicit in it too. That's just my opinion. Please leave that door the way that it is. I am very welcome to the air temperature right now. And hopefully it drops down into the 50s because it has just been too hot. You know, I'm going to sound crazy, but I think this is the system that we should have hooked up to the TV up there. Because I feel like the Nintendo Switch sports games would probably function better on this than it would the regular Switch.
Maybe right.
But I don't want to spend an extra $80 to $100 on a secondary dock for the Switch 2s, so we're just going to make do what we have. Besides, if I can hook up the old Switches up there, or one of them anyway, then River can play Minecraft or whatever when she's here, and if she's been good. Probably someone about something else. Again, I don't care. Oh my god. I get it. You're the Independent Journalism Review or the Israeli Journalism Review. I don't care what you're called. Leave me alone! I'm not a friggin'... well... yeah, no, I'm not a journalist in that sense of the word. You need to do journalism. Give me a camera and I'll go do photojournalism, but you're paying for it. The travel, the food, the photos, and I am not going to fucking war zones. Stick to domestic politics, thank you very much. And no, I don't want to go to the Oval Office or the press room for freaking press briefings. You can keep that crap too. You want me to do something? I'll go take pictures of food in weird restaurants that no one's heard of. And you can pay for my travel expenses and we can put it on the travel channel together, that's fine. But anything beyond that, no. So. And yes, it is because I'm a lazy turd. I don't want to go to a place where I can get shot in the back of the freaking head just because I wanted to take a good picture or something. No, spank you. I have family, I have kids. Probably gonna have a couple more kids. Being put in that situation is not something I want for me or my family, so, you know. With great respect to the work that you guys do, and I do appreciate the invitation, but pick a nut to suck, because I am not doing that kind of stuff for you. Now, back to the stuff that I do like to cover. Nux covers some very good topics, and I do like the fact that he does react to, like, politics here in America. And he's top, holy shit. I should have changed my friggin' streaming name to Gasmaster, because, damn. I put out enough gas out of my backside to power a fucking vehicle for a fucking year. But, you know, one of... Oh, yeah. Like, there is no chop, hardly. But yeah, we kind of got a little bit of a rainstorm / thunderstorm situation going on here. Hopefully it's just rain, because I'd like to get the cold air from the rain without having the light show tonight. I do enjoy, unlike my future wife, I actually enjoy thunderstorms, but I don't want to have to...
Don't get me wrong, I don't hate them.
I don't want to have to disconnect everything. That's really my big issue.
True, but it's actually mostly the thunder part because of my hearing.
Yeah, that's true too. I don't want to have to disconnect all the streaming stuff and have to reset it back up and deal with all that crap. I kind of want to just have a rain shower that lasts throughout the night, cools things off, leave the fan in the door right where it's all at, and just let this place cool right the hell off. Maybe chill out after we're done streaming, and
I did not intend to startle you.
throw on like a movie or something. I've
that
actually
spoke to
been
you earlier.
craving watching Indiana
That
Jones
arm
lately,
originally belonged to me.
and we do have them on DVD.
I am wrong.
We do.
So, and for whatever reason, between Destiny 2, Tears of the Kingdom, and most of the
Forgive
other
me
games
for
that we
appearing
play,
to you in this manner.
don't ask me why, Indiana Jones just seems to
Fortunately,
fit.
I no longer have a physical form.
Well, with Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, Dr. Stone would also fit.
Yeah, that's true.
In any case, that arm should allow you to open this door.
Kind of.
It seems to have lost the power to do so.
I feel like your slime anime there with Rimuru would probably fit a
You
little
might
better.
be able to restore it.
That's because of the
But you would need
obnoxious
to
amount of
enter a
building
place
stuff
filled
you
with
can do
sacred
in
light.
Tears of the Kingdom.
That is true.
Of course. Why not visit the shrines on this island?
That Rimuru built a kingdom.
Yeah, true. But really,
The shrines. Yes,
while
I'm sure
I
they-
personally don't like Hassan because I think he's a fucking idiot, but at the same token, I do question whether he's legitimately that way or if it's audience capture. I'm not sure. I'm actually not 100% on that. Really, he's not the thing that I have an issue with. The thing that I personally have an issue with is the lack of enforcement of Twitch's own TOS against people like Hassan. And yet they'll enforce against people like me or Tectone or Asmongold at free fucking reign. Me, I just get freaking shadow banned. Actually, it's not even really shadow banning. It's just, like, I'm boring in general. Like, as a person, very boring person. I would rather sit at home drinking green tea, like hot green tea. Like friggin' Uncle Iroh from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Just sitting at the table with my cup of tea on a nice cushioned seat and just discussing, like, how to play Mahjong or some shit. I really am a very boring person. And this whole streaming thing is probably really not the greatest, like, it's probably not the best fit, but it's the fit that I chose for myself. It seemed like the best place to output some of, like, my thought processes on things. Now, you know, there are some things that I could say that are quite controversial to people on the right. One of those things is my view and stance on universal basic income. And despite the fact that, by the way, I am generally against income tax, I am all supportive of tax of corporate interests. And the reason for that is I think they just need to be applied to companies that use stuff like automation and AI to reduce the number of workers that they have. In an attempt to escape the cost of doing business. I feel that they should absolutely have to pay a penalty into the either taxes or, you know, like, pick a system, right? And I think that penalty should be distributed amongst the American people, like in the form of a dividend. And the reason I say that, and the idea actually came from the Alaskan state government and their agreement concerning the oil pipelines. So it's not even an original idea, it's actually a stolen idea, but it's a good idea, in my opinion. And I think that, you know, if the more artificial intelligence and automation that they use, the higher that percentage should go up. To pay, you know, out to the American people in general as in the form of a dividend that should not be reported on for taxation purposes. It's already been through the tax system. You should not have to be taxed on it a second time. That money should never be taxed a second time. That's just, like, my thoughts on the matter, because if you're refusing to hire workers and you're going to shove AI and automation into things, then you need to be contributing in some other way. I'm all for you getting rich or whatever and having, like, 13 private jets. I don't care. But you still need to be paying a portion back into, like, making sure that the people that you would have been able to hire don't starve to death. So, and that's important to remember the difference between don't starve to death. I don't mean being able to go out and buy the next new iPhone. Okay? I mean, like, if it amounts to, like, $20 extra, like a $20 thing that just gets automatically slipped into your account every month or once a year or whatever, you know, then it is what it is. But that's my thought process on that. Thank you. I like num-nums. Can I have a glass of milk to go with it, please? I can get up and do it myself, but I am streaming, so. Well, I was going to ask for the other type of milk, but that seemed inappropriate for the stream.
If I could, I would smack you upside the head, but you're streaming, so I won't.
Yeah, they don't like physical violence.
No, but I think some of the guys would find it hilarious that you got smacked upside the head for saying that.
Well, I mean, yeah, it'd be kind of like watching the Three Stooges. There should be plenty for your cereal.
Actually, there's enough for her cereal.
Do I have a cold water in there?
Yes, we also have some Mountain Dew.
I don't want Mountain Dew tonight.
I don't think he thought that he
I
needed
wasn't. I didn't even know that you were getting low. So
it. You gotta let him know these things. He doesn't always check.
oh balls, whatever. It's a parfait cup. It'll disappear here in about. It is a frozen parfait cup.
How is it frozen? It was in the front of the fridge.
Oh,
No, it's not frozen.
it's a plastic layer of bullshit.
Yeah. What did I say?
Okay. That's new. I better be careful. People might start calling me the male version of Frogan.
The male version of what?
Fat female streamer on Twitch who wears a hijab. And apparently Tectone got banned for calling her fat. The catch is, I don't stream on Twitch, so I don't have a problem calling her fucking fat.
I think anyone would feel bad if they were trying to eat this Oreo parfait.
True.
Oh, that TV in the game is actually really nice.
Mm-hmm.
The picture quality on the TV now is
But there's one thing about this streaming stuff that I really hate. The view bots. No, view bots. They're fake. They're people who come. They're not even really people. They come into your friggin' stream and they're like, oh, hey, come to our Discord and get blah blah blah. It's like, dude, that is so inorganic. That is not real traffic, and I don't want it on my channel.
and I don't blame you.
Like, if I'm getting paid for entertaining people, I want it to be real people being entertained or bored to death by my content, not bots. I hate that. Oh, but you're a no tier, you're a 0 tier freaking creator. You're on the bottom of the list. You should get all the help you can take. Yeah, sure. As long as it's legitimate help, but that is not legitimate help. Once the platforms start cracking down on that, that evaporates, and I don't want that. I want real, organic viewers who tell me I suck, or I'm good at what I do.
so your feet can still go through the stairs in game. But it's not very often.
Like, I'd rather have... I'll be honest, I'd rather have 10,000 people calling me a fat asshole than have 10,000 fucking bots. Even if I was paid the same either way. I just want real people. I really, I don't even feel like I should have to say that, but...
You have to. Because people out there who aren't streamers just assume that any help is good help.
Well, okay, so in the short term, yes, it's good help, but it's short term, and once it dries up, it dries up. That's it. You know? If you can't make enough of an audience on your own, even with that help, once that help dries up, you're screwed. And I don't want to get screwed like that. No, thank you.
Yeah. But that's how you can tell your streaming is not very effective and you're not very entertaining. It's if the bots disappear and you lose all your audience.
Mm-hmm.
That means your entire audience was bots.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I don't want. That's why I don't accept those invites to Discord on here. I keep telling people if they want to talk to me about stuff, I need to actually make the graphic for it so that way I can stop saying it. But I need to make one that has my Twitter handle on the stream.
Your links in your descriptions for the videos.
Yeah, but I'd rather have it on a graphic.
Sure, but until you do that, you should just put it in the description.
And actually, I might work on doing the graphic tonight after I get done doing this stream. But I'd rather deal with people on Twitter than Discord. Because anytime anyone says anything about anything related to Discord, right? And something comes out as like a DM thing or whatever, and they say the word Discord, I'm thinking one of three things. Fraud, another scam, or something sex related. And it's like, what did they do this time? Well, that was probably about the least healthy thing I could have eaten. That tasted like... It just tasted like chocolate pudding to me. And the other part fell on the floor under my seat.
Okay.
So... But, no, I just, you know, baby, I love you. Man, that fan is just not moving the air fast enough. I think we should go get a shop fan. I mean, yeah, they're a lot louder, but man, do they ever blow the air.
So we could wind up breaking up the AC unit early.
Well, I'm doing it tomorrow morning. I don't know how much earlier you think we're going to do it.
Oh, you're doing it tomorrow?
Yeah, that's why this stuff has to be dealt with tomorrow morning. Well, it's already in the first week of June, so while as a general rule I would actually prefer to wait until like July, but the reality is this is just going to get too hot. Ah, crap. Well, that just happened. Huh. I guess exploring does pay off a little bit.
Huh.
There's a hidden box. No, I fell down here and it just about killed me. And I can't use the fast travel. Nope. Yee! Okay. Well. Then there really is only one option for me, and that is to climb. I don't care how cold it gets in here tonight, because tomorrow is supposed to be just as hot as it was today. So, that door, it can stay open as far as I care. If I have to, I'll go latch the outside porch gate. Meat. So yeah, what do we want to do tomorrow other than setting up the AC and getting the living room done up? Probably not much outside because it's supposed to be pretty damn hot tomorrow. Yeah, we could. Too bad I didn't have the stuff set up for the mobile camera.
Yeah, but we also don't have this.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, I mean, technically any harness would do, but technically. Just a secondary one down there. It's a dry one to fall back on, but yeah, I get the point. Ugh. Good night.
Agnes.
Oh, don't even be a pain, dude. Just not tonight. We love you, Fuzzy, but just don't have the head for your barking right now, dude.
You decided not to bark. It wasn't trying to follow very well.
Thankfully. Okay.
Hey, baby. I used all three of these starters. Which one should I pick for this right here?
I have no idea. Pick a dice.
You have these?
On the kitchen table.
That means I gotta get out.
1 and 2 for one, 3 and 4 for the other, 5 and 6 for the third. Or you could grab the 3-sided dice that should be in there too. Yeah, it looks like a little pyramid. Roll it on the... I couldn't tell you. Just make sure it makes its way back into the box. That's all that I ask. Those are my D&D dice. Actually, that's not how that dice works.
No. There's the exactly how each one.
I
I was just telling myself which ones we're gonna have which three numbers on it.
That's not how that dice works.
That was the space one there.
The number that's pointing up, if you look at it, on the point, it's the same number all the way around. That's the number that you roll for.
I was hoping for numbers on the side.
No. That is not how that dice works, unfortunately.
I understand that the dice works, but not
Whatever floats your boat, babe. I'm just telling you how it works, okay? Excuse me. And the graphics for the sailing are smooth too.
And the way the sail now looks when it's going through it too.
Now, of course, because of, you know, the graphics card, you know, the
Yeah.
video capture card being video capture card makes it kind of look like crap, but the in-game screen is pretty sick. Oh man, I don't want to drink any more chemical crap today, but I mean, to be fair, I've been up since 2 o'clock this morning. It is in fact 8:40. It is almost 9 o'clock.
Oh wow.
So, if we account for, I've been up for quite a while, long enough to where I don't even want to try to mentally calculate it.
You know, I bet if Bungie wanted, they could put a less rapidly straining version of their game on the computer system.
Oh, sure, actually. Considering
Thinking about D2.
Considering they have a version of Destiny going on.
Yeah, they could literally get one for the Switch 2 because of the graphics update and play it on your Switch.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be as graphically intense, but you could still play D2 in handheld mode on a bigger screen than your phone.
Here's why I don't recommend it. Unless you can fix the issue that happens with the particle collisions during the use of like 6 supers at once, you'd have to remove the raids. And a lot of the PvP stuff probably wouldn't work very well either. So, but that would be more programming that would have to be put into making it work. Just like growing my channels, just like anything else you do in life. If you're not willing to put the work into it, don't expect anything to ever get done. That's okay. I'm about passing out here in midstream, so I'm gonna have to call it for tonight. 16 to 18 hours of being conscious, I guess, is about my fucking limit. So, if you guys like the content, hit the like and subscribe button. We'll be up and at it again tomorrow after I get the AC set up in here, so that way we're not roasting to death. In the meantime, have a beautiful night.